everyone, it's Sarah. Welcome back to another Friday video. This week I wanted to show you how to make this cute little gift right here. With flu season going around right now, it's nice to give somebody a little something when they're not feeling well. So I wanted to show you how I make this cute little hand sanitizer holder. Isn't that adorable? It just fits right in there, and it just lets somebody know that you're thinking of them. So let's go ahead and get started. First, what you're going to need is a piece of cardstock cut at 2 by 12, and I'm using the Marina Mist, and we're going to need either our scoreboard or our new trimmer, and I'm going to use the new trimmer today. So we want to take our light color blade because we're going to be scoring, and the dark color blade is for cutting. So we want to make sure that we use the light colored. We're going to score at 1, 2 1/4, 3 1/4, 4 1/2, 7 3/4, and 9. There we go. Set our trimmer aside. So now what we want to do is I'm going to be using the 1 3/4 by 7/8 oval punch. And on your strip, you're going to have a bunch of score lines right down here at the bottom. As to up here, you have a long piece with only one score line down here. So we want to use the end that has all the score lines right here. So on the second box up, we want to take our punch and we want to put it in as far as it'll go. And then we want to punch our oval out. Try and get it center as best as you can. Now your oval is going to be really close to that bottom score line, but it's okay, don't worry about that. So now I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper, and now is when I decorate my strip. So what I'm going to do, let's move the camera out a little bit to make sure that you can see everything. There we go. So now I'm going to decorate my strip, and to decorate it today, I'm using this amazing stamp set, the Papillon, and we all know I can't pronounce that other word, and nobody's told me how to say it, so this is just what I call the butterfly set. And I'm going to be using that cute little butterfly right there. And I'm going to be stamping him in some Tangerine Tango. I just love the way that blue and orange look together. So now to make sure that my images are going to go the right way, I'm going to have my punch at the top of the paper, and I'm going to punch downward, or stamp downward. And I'm just going to stamp all over where I want my butterflies. It doesn't matter if it's on score lines or if it goes off or anything like that. Just randomly stamp it. There we go. That looks good. So now I'm going to reinforce all my score lines, and I'm going to reinforce downward. This is a really simple project to make. And like I said, it's just nice to give somebody something when they're not feeling very well. Now, I'm not going to score this bottom score line really. I'm just going to kind of give it like a little curve because I don't want to rip that oval right there, but I find that it's easier to punch the oval out before you score it because my score lines tend to get stuck in my punch. So that's why I do it beforehand. There we go. So now can you see our little hand sanitizer holder? There it is. How simple is that? Before I put it together, I want to give it something to help it close, to stay closed. So on this square right underneath our oval, so the third square, I'm going to make a little hole with my paper piercer here. Right in the center. There we go. set that aside for a second. Now I'm going to take a piece of Daffodil Delight and my new 7/8 scallop circle, and I'm going to just punch a circle out of there. There we go. I'm going to take my oval that I cut out, and I'm going to use that with my small circle, and then I'm just going to punch a small circle out of there. Take my snail and snail up my Marina Mist and put it there in the center. And there we go. Take my paper piercing tool again, and I have a brad handy here, and I'm just using the neutral brads, and I'm gonna paper pierce a hole right there in the middle. Stick my brad in there, and then put it in my hole that I have on my holder. Put it down. So now it looks like that. I'm going to take my snail, and on the very end flap right here, I'm going to snail it up. And you can use red sticky if you'd like, but for my videos I always just use snail because it saves time from having to peel that red stuff off. So now you're going to fold this flap in right with that score line right there. Make sure that it's even, and then put it down just like that. So now our hand sanitizer fits in that oval perfectly, and that's why it doesn't really matter that that oval is right up against that score line, because when it's adhered to the back of this, it's not going to rip. So now to close it, all you do is put it down into that flower like that. Isn't that cute? So now to decorate the front of my card, I'm going to use the wordplay set, the 1 of 2, and I'm going to be using this Ick, Feel Better Soon punch, or stamp. I always say punch when I mean stamp. Using the Tangerine Tango again. I'm just gonna ink this up and stamp it right there. Now I'm using the decorative label punch, and I'm just gonna punch this out. Now to back it, I'm going to be using the Daffodil Delight again, and I'm going to punch 2 of these out to back it. Now you can use just one punch if you like and cut it down the middle and then have each side like this, but I actually like doing it with 2 on the back, because then the white point right here is in between the 2 Daffodil Delight points, or your whatever color you're using, and then it just gives it a little bit more dimension, and I love dimension, so I don't mind using 2 pieces. There we go. So I don't know if you can see how it's center in there in the Daffodil Delight, but it just makes it look more like a frame to me. So then I'm just going to take 2 dimensionals, stick those down right there, and then stick this on the front of my sanitizer. And there it is. There's the finished hand sanitizer. And then I just took a piece of gumball green ribbon and tied it around the top. So if you read my blog yesterday, you noticed that this was a 2-part video, so I wanted to show you what we would be making in the next video, which is going to be posted to my blog tomorrow. We're going to be making this adorable little tissue holder, because what goes better with hand sanitizer in flu season than tissues? So I hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, happy inkin'!